Welcome back to Bourbon, Buzzed, and Ballin, where we're here to talk about all things sports. And, of course, we like to sip on a little bourbon while doing so. We got a great show for you tonight. This is our second part of our NFL preview show. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about the NFC, give you some picks on conferences, and, of course, at the end we're going to maybe give you some predictions. So with that being said, turn it over to Colby.
Well, if you've been following our podcast, you know that we like to start every show off with an opening toast, and we're gonna toast to three individuals on this episode. First one being Albert Pujols, who is 4 home runs shy of tying Alex Rodriguez for 4th place overall, and 8 shy of 700 for his career.
That's it. He's got 43 games left. He's on a tear right now.
He is. He's on a roll. He's on a roll. And it makes me wonder if he's knocking on that door. I know he's already announced this is his last year, but if you're knocking on that door, do you come back for one more?
Man, he's up there in age, but he's still performing well. You know, that COVID year.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the COVID year, he would have already cracked 700. I'm pulling hard for him. I'm looking for him to get up there with Barry Bonds and Hank and, of course, Babe Ruth. I think it'll be
He's a great individual. He's got a lot of charity work that he's done. He's never been one that they've suspected of steroids.
No. We've watched him grow.
I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Just
Absolutely.
A great guy. And we're cheering for you, Albert. We want you to crack that 700.
Come on, Albert. You can do it.
What's he got? 43 games left?
43 games left. He's got to hit 8 and 43.
8 and 43. Okay.
He's on a tear right now. He's seeing the ball good, so we'll see if he can do it.
Yeah, I mean, hitters in baseball are so streaky. So,
that's right.
If he can keep that streak going, I just don't want him to hit a cold streak and not get it. Who else you got, Dustin?
Well, obviously, the golf world lost a great one today or yesterday, was it? Tom Weiskopf. He's kind of not a huge name in golf to the average golfer, but if you really follow golf, he's only got one major. But the one thing about Tom Weiskopf is he had 4 runner-ups at the Masters, and one of the big things with Tom Weiskopf is he came up in the age of Jack Nicklaus, and so it was pretty much Jack Nicklaus and everybody else.
You're going to be in the shadows if you're
right.
Coming up with the bear.
Yeah, his career, we'd be talking differently, if he was in a different era, but Jack Nicklaus sort of took that from him in a lot of tournaments. But he was a great course designer. We've seen a lot of his golf courses in the remodel projects on TV. So it was a good loss, great loss for the golf world. So I'd like to toast Tom.
Well, and speaking of losses, the Bourbon, Buzzed, and Ballin family lost one of our own, our little Miley girl, little 14-year-old Yorkie, passed away this past weekend. We've got on the table here. She loved these chicken and waffles, a little treat. If you're a dog owner, go to Amazon, get some chicken and waffles because the dogs love them. And then also,
I don't think I saw food that she didn't like.
Well, this is true, but I mean, my dogs would do anything for a chicken and waffle. And then also, Miley girl loved when we would break her off a piece of cheese and give it to her. So we've got some cheese out here to give her one more slice of cheese. But Miley girl, we're gonna miss you, and we're just gonna raise our glass and toast Albert and Tom and Miley girl. Cheers. And speaking of raising our glasses, we're drinking some. If you're watching us on YouTube, you're probably wondering what the heck we're drinking because it's super dark.
It is dark.
But earlier, I've been aging some old fashioned in my white oak barrel, and so I did a TikTok earlier on, teaching our viewers how to do it and the best way to do it. And so I poured up a couple that was left in my last batch before I made this batch. So that's what Dud and I are sipping on tonight. We're sipping on these aged old fashions.
What size pour would you call this?
Healthy?
I call this buzzed at the end of the show.
This is definitely going to be a bourbon buzzed and balling episode.
My opinions might be a little raw tonight after this, but I will say this. As far as the old fashioned goes, buy yourself a barrel, age you some bourbon, and don't look back.
No, I mean
that's good.
It's a fun. I
really
don't know
good.
you went straight from the mash.
Yeah, I'm aging from
You got
the
white lightning. You got the
yeah.
white lightning. And
Yeah.
how far in are you?
I'm my next taste is September 5th.
Is that 6 months?
Yeah, that'll put us at 6 months,
Okay.
and we already tasted it at 3.
Yeah.
And it had really good color.
Yeah.
It was really good flavor. So I actually blended 2 mashes together.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward.
Well, we'll
to
have
it.
to bring that on the show.
Yeah,
We'll
that'll be
definitely have to bring that on the show. All right.
But
So
we got a good show, man.
absolutely.
We got the NFC Preview show, and I think it's going to be a good one.
But first,
Yeah, we're going to come in
we're
hot.
gonna come in
with
hot.
some-
And few things happened this week in the sports world. One big thing that went on was LeBron James signed a 2-year contract extension with the Lakers, $97.1 million. He's got a 3rd-year option,
Yeah.
a player option on that 3rd year. With this signing, he becomes the all-time highest earner in the NBA at $529 million. Kevin Durant second at $500 million, and then Steph Curry at $470. And one thing that jumps out about that is he's been in the league a lot longer.
Yeah, he's
but
been in
inflation and
Sure.
the
It's
way
well
contracts
earned.
go.
It's well earned.
I mean, he's a billionaire.
I know where we fall on the GOAT conversation, but I think for me, I sort of earned. He earned a little more respect
Right.
with this signing for me because he didn't jump to go because LA's not
Well,
potentially not really in the mix.
and it's hard to get anybody to, if you're trying to attract people to come play for you and they don't know where King James is standing,
right.
they're going to go somewhere else.
On the free agent market.
But
they're
if
struggling.
now that he's committed for 2 years, now maybe they can make a trade and bring somebody else in there.
Right.
And, I don't want to talk too much NBA offseason because that's going to be one of our topics next week.
Yeah, yep.
But 2 things stand out to me with this contract extension. One, is it really going to help the Lakers? Are they still going to be stuck in kind of mediocrity, or are they going to be able to be contenders? I don't necessarily see this as a move that's going to help them become contenders.
I think that if he's going to be considered the GOAT, then he needs to raise the level of the player that comes in.
Right.
Pippen wasn't a superstar from the get-go. So,
Jordan made him that way.
Yeah, Michael Jordan made him that way. And LeBron...
Nobody had heard of Scottie Pippen.
LeBron's got 2 good players.
He needs a healthy AD. He needs a healthy Anthony
but that's
Davis.
a whole different discussion on AD.
And it might be load management. That might come down to coaching and
I don't think he'll ever be healthy. He has never stayed healthy.
This is
and
true.
He hasn't played
and
a full season.
He could be one of the best in the league, if he could stay healthy. And then the second, I said there was 2 things that this extension kind of brought to my mind. That being one of them. The second thing is there's been a lot of talk about he wants to play his last season with his son.
Yeah,
he wants to play with Bronny. And Bronny, I don't even think he's eligible until that 3rd year.
Right.
So it would be that player option year. So is this going to force the Lakers to draft Bronny so that they can keep LeBron on that 3rd year, or is he going to opt out? Not exercise his option and go play with whoever does draft Bronny. And then there again, does Bronny develop enough? I mean, that he's an NBA player.
A lot of assumptions going on.
I know.
A lot of assumptions.
I mean, he had a hell of a dunk. I don't know if you saw the clip.
Yeah,
the dunk he just.
I think down. One thing's for certain: LeBron's going to be calling the shots by the end of year 3. But the one thing that I want to mention is the fact that I think Jordan's number of the rings, is potentially out of reach for LeBron.
Right.
But he's got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring title. in his sights, and he's at L.A., he's at the Lakers. I think, I don't know. I don't know. I have a lot more respect for LeBron.
I think if he doesn't get hurt at the end of last year, he leads the league in scoring. He averaged 30.3 last year.
Oh, he's no doubt he's still a stud.
And he's 37, I think?
I can't remember if he's 30, 35, 36, or 37.
He's 37, so I mean, he's going to be, if he plays those next 3 years, he's going to be 40 in the NBA, which
we'll have to get our stat girl on that one.
All right, and another big news item that came down this week, Deshaun Watson. You know, they brought in the appeals system, but before he could give his ruling, the NFL and Deshaun came to an agreement. They negotiated, and they came to an agreement. 11 games, $50 million. 50. $5 million. Sorry,
50's more accurate.
I know 50 would have been more fitting. But
I don't even think that would calm the waters.
No,
the money. It's not the money.
No, so 11 games, $5 million. I did like to hear that the $5 million is going to charity, and I hope it's something related to, female victims.
Sure.
Assault towards something appropriate.
Yeah.
I hope that $5 million goes to that.
Did you watch his press conference? Did you watch the press conference? I did.
It was
embarrassing.
He's got no remorse. He still does not think he did anything wrong. This man needs help.
I mean, I was shocked. I mean, I felt like the Cleveland Browns PR department just threw him out there with no practice, with no speech, and just hung him out to dry.
The owner's looking like an idiot also.
Yeah,
I mean, whole – and I don't want to – we've already touched on Deshaun Watson, and we think this is an individual who needs psychiatric help for he's got some issues.
Definitely got some issues.
And part of the settlement with the league was he does have to go through a program. Hopefully he'll take it serious and get the help that he needs.
I don't know.
But really what I want to talk about relating to this is, okay, how does this affect the Cleveland Browns?
Well, I think it affects them huge for – first off, I mean, they're going to be playing with a quarterback that, and they're already talking Jimmy Garoppolo potential trades. So now Jacoby Brissett's looking over his shoulder,
right?
And I mean, the Cleveland Browns just seem to, golly, they just can't get out of their own
11
way.
games of Jacoby Brissett, they're going to be eliminated from playoffs.
Yeah,
I mean, Brissett went 2-3 with the Dolphins last year.
Yeah,
but really, one of those wins, he got pulled from the game, and Tua came in and beat the Ravens. So really, the only game he won with the Dolphins last year was against the Texans, and we know what the Texans are.
That's a big hit from a fantasy perspective too for all the fantasy players. I mean, Amari Cooper, our own Amari Cooper. I'm a little upset about him.
So it makes you think, okay, jump on the running backs, but if the defense ain't got to worry about the passing game, they can load up and stop Chubb and Hunt, and so it hurts the running game.
Yeah, it's going to reverberate through that. I mean, and listen to this. Is this a coincidence? Deshaun's first game back is against the Houston Texans.
Yeah, that's crazy. So
it's almost it seems planned.
Well, and the flip side of that is you got Baker Mayfield with the Panthers, and his first game is against the Browns.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you got Baker going against the Browns.
Russell Wilson's first game is against the Seahawks.
You can't make this shit up.
You can't. Von Miller, week 1 against the Rams. Yeah. I know there's no...
I mean, they're not... Crazy. The NFL is a multi-billion-dollar company. They're not idiots. They know what they're doing.
They didn't happen into it for
sure.
They
didn't just accidentally come up with these schedules.
I like Baker Mayfield against the Browns. I like that. I mean that.
With the Browns having no QB, and you know what, the best QB currently on that roster is probably Josh Dobbs from Tennessee.
Oh, he looked good.
He looked good in the preseason.
Yeah, he did look good. I think. I don't know. He made a statement.
I mean, I pulled up some of Brissett's stats. He's 14-23 as a starter, and that's with a good Dolphins team,
right,
and a good Colts team. 60% completion.
Yeah, I mean, I think Brissett's certainly got a big arm. He's a good quarterback, but he's a backup. He's a backup.
If he wins one more game with the Dolphins last season, they're in the playoffs.
They're in the playoffs, yeah.
All he needed was one more game, and couldn't do it.
Cool.
So,
Well,
while we're talking about football,
let's launch.
Let's just jump right in. We previewed the AFC last week. This week we're going to preview the NFC.
Let's do it. Let's launch into this.
When I was looking at the NFC, the NFC has won the last 2 Super Bowls. The Rams and the Bucks.
How about that?
They've won the last 2 Super Bowls. 3 of the last 5 Super Bowls.
Yeah, but it comes down to a top-heavy, elite team versus the AFC's just deep. The AFC's deep.
I'm not impressed with the NFC. I think you take the bubble teams we were talking about last week in the AFC.
And you think they're playoff locks in the NFC?
If you move them to the NFC, they're locks. The Dolphins, the Chargers, the Raiders.
Be an interesting discussion. I still think the NFC top-heavy, outside of the North. I think the North is going to be an interesting discussion.
The North is sure. You definitely got the Packers and the Vikings.
I'm a North guy.
Yes, you're a Vikings fan.
I'm repping the Vikings. Yeah. I'm a lifelong Vikings fan. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
And I'll tell you,
it's been rough.
I don't think the Lions are going to be there yet.
No,
but I like what they're doing.
They're building.
What they're doing.
They're building.
All right, let's go ahead. We started talking about the North. Let's dive right in. Who you want to talk about first in the North?
Let's go ahead and get the trash out the way. Let's talk Chicago Bears. No offense, but
I've got relatives in Chicago.
I know you do. I do too. But she's not a Bears fan. She's a Packers fan.
But
so
yes,
we're okay there.
They've got a new head coach. They brought over Matt Eberflus from the Colts.
Yeah.
Of course, he had a lot to work with the Colts. Jonathan Taylor,
sure.
Michael Pittman.
Now, it's the worst roster. It's got to be 31 or 32 worst roster in the league. In their quarterback situation.
Justin Fields
is playing behind a bad offensive line. That's just a bad combination.
Right.
And then what's his weapon? Darnell Mooney?
Well, that's what
he looks good, but
you got
is he
Mooney.
A 1?
Well, to me, Mooney really should be a 2.
He's a complimentary receiver.
On this team, he's a 1.
Sure,
they need a 1.
Yeah.
He should be a 2.
Is he a 1 by default?
They didn't have a first-round pick this year because they traded it to the Giants to get Justin Fields. They got 2 solid running backs.
I was behind that draft pick too, but if you dive into his statistics, which I'm not getting into it,
right.
He is processing the game really slow. Mm-hmm. Really slow.
Big arm, big athlete, but he's
an athlete.
The
right now,
to
me, he reminds me a lot of Cam Newton without the accolades.
Right.
And he's wildly inaccurate. So we'll see if he makes up for it.
Now, what Chicago's going to have to rely on is their defense.
Sure.
Roquan Smith he's ended his, I'm not going to call it a holdout. It was more of a hold in.
Right.
And he's going to play the last year of his contract. Eddie Jackson is their leader on defense at safety. And they drafted 2 studs in the second round. Cornerback Kyler Gordon from Washington. At UW, no touchdowns allowed. So
right, and they needed
0.
that. They needed that because their secondary posted really good numbers last year, but they graded low, on the PFF scale. So, they definitely need the help in the secondary. Their D line is so bad. Their secondary is going to have.
Yeah, there's no pass rush.
Nah, their secondary is going to be in coverage for too long. They're just not good. I think Vegas. What does Vegas have them at? 6.5 wins.
The over/under.
The over/under 6.5. I see too many limits on offense.
Yeah,
Justin Fields have to pull a miracle, man. I just don't see it. In the NFC, I think the NFC North is tough.
Yeah,
it's tough because you said it. The Lions have gotten better.
Yeah,
the Bears have gotten worse.
The Bears are looking at the cellar.
Yeah, I think Bear fans, you're in for a long, cold winter, man. It's windy up there. It's freezing, and that stadium's going to be empty.
Let me give you another 0. So they had 2 second-round picks this year. They took Gordon and Jaquan Brisker, the safety from Penn State. He had 0 penalties his final 2 seasons at Penn State.
Did he play?
Yes, that's impressive. From a safety, that means his timing and his technique are spot on. I mean, no penalties.
No.
So you got
tough league though. It's a tough league.
It is. I mean, these are going to be day one starters as rookies, but you don't want too many day one starters as rookies. You're not going to compete that way. But Gordon and Brisker, put them with Eddie Jackson. Right. That secondary, give them a couple years.
So they're building. You're making the statement that they're building.
They
need their blocks.
They need to focus a lot on offense next year.
I still think Justin Fields has potential, but he
needs he needs a legit number one. Allen Robinson is a legit number one, but it just
are they
going to
wreck his confidence though? The media's on him. The media's on his progression. It's a new coaching staff who didn't draft him,
right?
Or is all that going to combine with such a bad offensive line to just his head mental aspect?
Well, and I mentioned that on a previous podcast about how the fragile the psyche is of a rookie quarterback, and I think you really got to take care of that.
I think the Bears, they're in a long season for them. What about the Lions? Let's go to the next.
Okay, like I said, the Lions. One thing I want to talk about is their coaching staff.
Yeah.
Their coaching staff is loaded with former NFL players.
Yeah, that's big.
You got Dan Campbell. You got Deuce Staley. You got Aaron Glenn, Kelvin Shepard, J.T. Barrett, Mark Brunell, Hank Fraley, Randall L. That team, that coaching staff is loaded. And Dan Campbell, have you been watching Hard Knocks?
Yeah. No, I haven't watched it. I'm going to binge watch it.
That man's a beast. Yeah, he looks like he can still play.
Oh, I bet he could. I don't know. It's the Lions. Though.
I know.
It's the Lions.
But they've got some pieces.
They do have some pieces.
They've got DeAndre Swift.
I've always been rooting for the Lions, even as a Vikings fan.
When Jameson Williams gets healthy, you got him and you got Amon-Ra St. Brown. I didn't realize his dad was a 2-time Mr. Universe.
No, I didn't know that either.
Found that out on Hard Knocks last week.
Oh, wow. How about that? And I like Jared Goff. I mean, as from a quarterback standpoint, he can get you to the playoffs. Can he win a Super Bowl?
I think they're
going.
I think they need, if they struggle this year and wind up with a high pick and get one of these studs coming out this year to go with, Hawkinson. He's a legit tight end.
He's
talent.
Legit, yeah.
Then on the defensive side, you got your boy Hutchinson.
Well, their O-line, too. Let's not forget about their O-line. It's already good.
Yeah, Panay's.
Yeah, Panay Sewell. And he didn't really – he was a rookie last year.
The Lions they're sneaky. They're close. And speaking of Hard Knocks, I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I haven't watched it. I got to binge watch it.
Your boy, Aiden Hutchinson, they always make the rookies get up in front of the whole team. He did Billie Jean.
Did he really?
From Michael Jackson.
All right. I see
and by the end of the song, the whole team is going crazy and singing a lot. You've got to. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube even if you don't watch it, but you've got to check out.
I'm too cheap to have HBO.
You've got to, but you need to Google the Aiden Hutchinson Billie Jean.
Oh, I will. I will. I like Aiden. I think
he let his you would actually love this episode of the Hard Knocks because
a lot of Michigan.
His family is involved in it. And, you get to know his
father,
non-football side. And I think it's a great series. I look forward to it every year.
I love it. I do too. I just don't look forward to it enough to pay for it.
But I didn't know if you knew about the Billie Jean.
I didn't.
You definitely need to look that up.
I'll go look that up tonight. No, I agree. Their D-line, and if Aiden is the real deal, and I think he is.
He looked good in the preseason.
I do. He's got one patented move that he's going to have to add.
In the NFL,
to that.
You can't be a one-trick pony.
Yeah, no. I think if he's athletic enough, to do that, and he's smart enough. Obviously,
he's going to have a good career. He's going to have a good career.
The secondary, I think the secondary and the linebacker core, they struggle in coverage a little bit. That Jeff Okudah,
he's got to
get better.
He's got to step. He was a very high.
Was he third overall, first round a few years ago, and he hasn't lived.
Up to that. But the talent is there. He's got to apply it.
Yeah, but I agree. I think I like their build so far. Honestly, they can only go up.
Yeah.
And I do think they'll double their wins. I mean, what'd they win last year? They
four,
won.
I think.
They were 3.
Oh, 3.
3-13
they had
and 1.
that tie. They had that tie.
Yeah. So I think they double their wins. I think they'll do 6-11 is about where I think they'll come in. 5 or 6.
I could see them finishing third ahead of the Bears, and if the Bears are considered a 6-win team, then the Lions would be a 7-win team. But I don't think either one of those teams can compete with the Vikings and Packers.
No, I definitely don't. Let's move on
want to talk about your Vikings? Or you want to save them for last?
No, I want to talk about the third best team in the league, which is the Packers.
Third best team in the league?
In the division, in the NFC North.
You got the Lions ahead of the Packers?
No, I mean 1, 2, 3.
So
the 3 that we've talked about.
Best.
The second best,
Okay. You're going from the bottom to the top.
Yes, you threw me a curveball. I thought we were going to go top to bottom, but
okay.
Yeah, no, I definitely.
Well, they lost 2 top wide receivers.
Yeah.
Devontae's gone. Scantling's gone. They're going to be relying on a couple rookies.
Yeah.
Dubs. I think they've been pronouncing it Dubs.
I've heard both Dobbs or Dubs.
Yeah. And then which he wasn't even their highest.
No,
rookie
Christian
drafted.
Watson was.
Watson was their highest, in the second round.
But Dobbs has been getting all the preseason hype.
He's caught a touchdown in each game so far.
That makes him an All-Pro in preseason. yeah. If you buy into the preseason stuff, I mean, he's already probably top 5 on Instagram.
So they still got Aaron Jones. They lost Jamal Williams, but Aaron Jones is still there, who's a good all-purpose back. Catches it out of the backfield, runs.
Corey Dillon. I mean, I love their...
Yeah. You got kind of a thunder and lightning.
Dillon.
AJ Dillon.
Yeah, Corey Dillon. I always call him Corey Dillon. He's from times past.
Right.
And a good O-line, but they lost Bakhtiari.
Yep.
So
I think their offense actually took a step back.
I do too.
The defense may take a slight step forward. Another one of your boys, Michigan boy, Rashawn Gary. He was I call him a late bloomer because coming out of high school, he was the number 1 overall recruit.
Right. It took him some time. I mean, he had a lot of baby fat, and now you look at him now. I mean,
I wasn't super impressed with what he did at Michigan.
No, he had flashes.
But it wasn't just dominant.
Right.
It wasn't Will Anderson dominant.
No,
so that's what you expect out of him.
No, but he had 26% pass rush win rate last year, which was only second to Max Crosby.
Right.
So,
he definitely is.
And he changed positions, because they had to move him around. So.
He's definitely a beast and the leader of that defense. And they also added a couple of UGA defenders.
Yeah, Quay Walker.
Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt.
And they do get Jair Alexander back on the back end.
I think their defense can take a slight step forward. I think their offense takes a slight step backwards. So hopefully that offsets it. And
I think we'll see what Goat Jr. is made of. A-Rod.
I still have them winning the North.
I'm sure you do.
You just said that you got you.
You
being Homer Simpson tonight.
I am going to be a Homer Simpson tonight. I still think, Aaron Rodgers is great. I think he'll throw those guys open.
Yeah.
And if Dobbs is every bit as good as he's been in the preseason, he's going to get open. Of course, and Rodgers will find him.
I don't know if you heard, Rodgers ripped.
Oh yeah.
The wide receivers.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a combination of trying to throw Jordan Love a little love.
That's good. That's nice.
Because
you on some drugs tonight, man?
Because Jordan Love was, they were giving him a hard time about his stats, but Rodgers was pointing out that you had all these drops and all. So he was helping support Jordan Love, but he's also letting these rookie wideouts know, if I don't trust you,
right,
the ball ain't coming your way.
Yeah, I mean he's not one of the greatest ever for no reason,
right?
And
right.
I think he makes the difference. I mean, I still think they're a 9, 10, 11 win team, but I just think
they're
the
a playoff
Vikings emergence, they're going to win this division.
Okay.
They're going to win this division.
Let's hear what you got to say about your Vikes.
Well, I think what I like most about my team is last year, even though they were 8-9, they had so many one possession game losses that accounted for that. Not only that, they had a boring, predictable Mike Zimmer offense. And now we got Kevin O'Connell in. I think the Vikings are going to take advantage of that real efficient quarterback they have. And then, I mean, a lot's going to be
wide
put
receivers.
On.
Probably the best 1-2 punch in the league.
I mean, they're talented on all levels. So, I mean, and not only do you have Justin Jefferson, you also have the man out of the backfield, Dalvin Cook. I mean, he can do everything if he stays healthy. I mean, health is everything.
Yeah, Cook and Irv Smith,
to
me, are kind of the X factors on that offense because when you got them two with Thielen and Jefferson, that's potent.
It is.
But if you're losing Cook and Smith to the injuries that seem to nag in those two,
right,
it's a problem. But really, to me, the problem's not on the offensive side.
I got you.
You know, last year they were top 15 offense.
Yeah.
But 30th in defense. So unless they figure out the defensive side of things, and which Zimmer was a defensive guy.
Yeah, but he didn't. He tinkered more on the offensive side. He got out of his his strengths.
And if your defense is on the field too much, it doesn't matter how good you are, you're going to wear it down.
Yeah, so I mean, I do agree. I mean, I think defensively there's got to be some improvements. I mean, Hunter and Zadarius Smith have both been banged up. They haven't played a lot. If they can be healthy, the defensive line improves.
Well, and they also, speaking of University of Georgia defenders, they traded back up into the first round, the 32nd pick to
Lewis Seen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and I think he's going to be good. I mean, Georgia obviously is there. It seems like every team we talk about, there's a Georgia draft.
Oh yeah,
that is making names for themselves now. So I mean, you got Pat Peterson still back there. I know he's aging, but he's still good. I like Seen at safety. Is going to be a good addition. And I mean, I just think the Vikings are so dangerous offensively. And with the change in scheme, I think their defense is good enough.
Okay.
Because I don't see, I'm looking at their schedule. I mean, there's 9 winnable games on there, and then obviously I think out of the 8 additional games, there's 4 games that they can win.
Coin toss.
Yeah, out of those. So I think we're looking at 11-12. Win season.
Should be a good.
It's going to be a battle
between
the Packers for sure.
Vikings,
it's going to be a good one, but I like the Vikings.
And then, like I said, I'm pulling for the Lions. I want to see the Lions. They've been a perennial cellar dweller.
I think I've always kind of pulled for the Lions. I guess it's been easy to pull for the Lions because they haven't been winning.
Right.
Where you want to go next? South?
Let's go down south.
Let's do it.
Let's right here in our backyard.
Where you want to start with the Falcons?
Yeah, we can start with the Falcons.
I don't think there's much to talk about. I think you're looking at a 4-5 win season max. I mean,
I was looking at the fact, and my mom is a diehard Falcon fan. I grew up in Atlanta. She's still in Atlanta. Loves her Falcons. Sorry, Mom.
I'm sorry.
I don't see the Falcons being very good this year. You're replacing Matt Ryan with Marcus Mariota. And, I would love to see Mariota get back to, being a starting caliber quarterback.
Get back to what exactly, though? I mean, he's just been a really good athlete,
And if he can be that dual threat and stay healthy, he's a danger. The problem is when he starts to be that dual threat,
he gets hurt.
Because he doesn't have Cam Newton's body.
O-line is terrible.
I mean, I like the Drake London pickup.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, and I don't think anybody in the NFL has drafted bigger dudes than the Falcons. Every one of their receivers is like 6'4", 6'5".
You know, I like Kyle Pitts. He's a mismatch wherever you line him up. I think them losing Ridley really hurts them. You know, because if you, I mean, if you think about that threesome, Drake London on one side, Calvin on the other, and you got Kyle Pitts at tight end. I mean, that's 3 good targets.
I mean, doesn't it feel to me? It feels like the Falcons, when they knew Ridley was gone for the year, it almost feels like they're playing for the draft for the quarterback of the future. I mean, I know they drafted Ritter.
Yeah,
but I think what was he, a third round?
Yeah,
third round. I mean, third round draft pick, quarterback.
You're not expecting them.
You just kind of want to. It's like, hey, if he does good, he does good. If he doesn't,
I just hope we have a career solid backup.
Sure, exactly. But he's shown in the preseason that he could be a Hall of Famer. I'm just kidding. Preseason. I make fun of the preseason, but
and running back, you're relying on a 30-year-old
wide receiver, kick returner, safety,
gadget,
Swiss Army knife. Yeah, he's look, Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, so I mean, you got him, and then you got the rookie out of BYU.
But I mean, I've never been too impressed with Mariota. I mean, I thought he was a overrated Heisman winner, and I mean, he's a good quarterback, but I just don't see him as a starter. To me, I feel like the Falcons' defense is so bad.
Yeah.
That
I mean, I was looking and looking and looking, and I could not find a pass rush anywhere.
No, I don't think there is. We'll see if they added somebody on the free agent market.
I mean, their secondary's decent, but when you've got no pass rush,
no, they're on an island.
You can only cover for so long.
That's right. I mean, I think their draft was encouraging, but you and I both know you can't rely on rookies in the NFL to get you over the hump. And
I will give you one stat that I found impressive was that Arthur Smith last year. They went 7-10, and all those wins were one possession games. So I mean, they know how to win a close one.
Yeah,
but I just don't. The roster to me is just not built to compete.
Nah, and it's the NFC South. It's the NFC South, and that's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because I think Carolina's gotten better, man. I do.
I'm not impressed with Carolina.
Well, we're going to disagree on that one. I just feel like Baker. I feel like Baker at quarterback with the pieces they have in place, as long as McCaffrey stays healthy, everything is key on McCaffrey's health. And they got a good backup to McCaffrey. So I think if they can keep McCaffrey healthy, I think Baker makes them a bubble team immediately. I do.
So Baker had a Super Bowl caliber roster in Cleveland.
I don't know about Super Bowl caliber.
Super Bowl caliber roster.
It's the Browns, man.
But look at the roster.
He played hurt all last year.
What about the year before?
They were in the playoffs.
It wasn't even his throwing shoulder.
But it's still that affects you as a quarterback if you're hurt.
I like Baker's swag and moxie.
He can elevate his offense, man.
But I think he's overrated.
Well, you didn't ask me that. I mean, is he a number 1 overall pick? No, I definitely don't believe that. That was all hype. But he's definitely he's got
a game manager.
He can. Well, that's all the Panthers might need with McCaffrey healthy. I mean, the receiving core looks great. I think Robbie Anderson can have a big season with a gunslinger quarterback.
Sam
Darnold ain't taking no chances downfield.
Baker's new best friend, Robbie Anderson.
Hey, he should be. He should be damn wiping his tail when he goes to the bathroom.
Robbie talked all that shit in the preseason. I don't want Baker Mayfield on my team.
I know, but
now they're like buddy.
Crow now, exactly. They're going golfing.
And they did get Shaq Thompson back off the PUP list. And I am a fan of Shaq Thompson.
And J.C. Horn is back in the secondary. He is locked down.
When's the last time he played? 2019?
He's locked down, man. Last year before he got hurt, he was emerging as a lockdown. So you mark my words, J.C. Horn, if he stay healthy, health is everything. And I'm a little bit of a homer on the Panthers. Obviously, they're in our backyard. I almost wore my Panthers hat with with my Vikings.
They did draft a franchise left tackle.
Yep.
So
the pieces are in place for them to be in the conversation.
I'm still not Baker. I'm not sold on Baker.
I'm going to serve him some crow because Baker is good enough. He's good enough to get you in the playoffs. And Baker, coupled with DJ, coupled with Robbie Anderson.
What's he ever won?
Who, Baker?
Yeah.
Nothing.
So why are you?
What have the Browns ever won?
Well,
maybe it's who drafted him.
I'm even going back to Oklahoma.
Well, they were always in the conversation. That's what I just said. They're going to be in the conversation. I didn't say they were going to win the national championship or the Super Bowl.
Well,
they're going to be in the conversation. The Panthers are going to be a surprise team.
They're going to be in the conversation for a top 10.
I'm going to tell you what.
They're going to be in the conversation for a top 10 draft pick.
I'll give you a lock right now. Vegas has them at 6.5. Take the over. Lock it.
Maybe 7 if they're lucky.
That's a lock. Take it.
Well, and I did want to mention though, there was a little bit of unfortunate news with the Panthers. Matt Corral.
Oh yeah.
Liz Frank injury, so he's done for the year.
Yeah, that sucks for him. But it's.
I mean, he wasn't going to play this year, but it does.
Nobody wants him to get hurt.
It does take away a year of his development. And,
well, I think watching the game from the sideline, which he was going to do anyway, because I think Darnold is a decent backup, but this will give him a chance to.
I think if Corral doesn't get hurt, they may try to trade Darnold. But now I think because of this, I think they have to keep him.
Is there a market for Darnold though? Golly, man.
No, he's a $20 million backup quarterback. Can you beat that job?
Not at all, man.
All right, let's go Saints.
Let's do it. I'll talk some Saints.
Jameis Winston. Mr. Crab Legs.
Hey, you can say what you want to about Jameis. He's a turnover machine.
He was.
Well, I'm not gonna give him a whole change yet because of 14-3 last year on a limited.
Yeah,
basis.
I agree. But he showed
I'm
improvement.
From Missouri. You got to show me. He
showed improvement at the end of last
season. But he's a good quarterback.
Oh,
he is a good. He knows how to distribute the ball. He, in my opinion, this is what I've always said makes a great quarterback. They throw receivers open. They don't throw to open receivers. They throw receivers open.
He's also not afraid to take chances. No. And that's why he does have the turnovers.
Exactly.
But, he's put up numbers in the past.
Oh, yeah. I think he's great. Really, I do. I mean, if he can keep his interceptions
he's
under
getting
control.
Michael Thomas back.
That's big.
Who, is always open.
They can't cover him.
Can't cover Mike. And they added Olave.
Yep. And Jarvis Landry, who's a decent quarterback. Couldn't get Baker over the hump, but he's a decent quarterback.
But the question with the Saints is there's no more Sean Payton.
That's true.
That
could be a hit.
They did stay in house, but Sean Payton is he's considered one of the best coaches in the league.
Yeah.
And they also have finally given up on the thought of Taysom Hill as a full-time quarterback.
Right. No, that was long overdue.
So, they finally wised up to that.
Player.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a good football
there's
player.
There's nothing wrong with, bring him in short yardage in the Wildcat. Give him the ball because he's like a Tim Tebow. He's a good football player, but he's not a good quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing about the offense on the Saints, because I think the Saints' offense is going to be really good, but they are starting a rookie left tackle. And that worries me a little bit about Jameis.
Yeah.
And his.
Well, luckily, Jameis is big and strong, can take a hit, and he also has got a little bit of elusiveness. So.
And I don't think we really need to say much about their defense, do we? I mean, the Saints' defense is always in the top.
Right. And
the league.
The coach that they promoted to head coach was their D coordinator, who's still there and he'll still have a big handle on this. So I mean I think the Saints can legitimately give the Bucs a battle. I still think the Bucs come out of that division on top, but
You're giving away your information.
I agree. It wouldn't surprise me, because one thing that scares me about the Bucs this year is there's no more Bruce Arians, and it's Todd Bowles, who is 26-41 as a head coach. Only one winning season, that was 2015 with the Jets. You know,
that's a big winning season though with the Jets.
Well, but that was his first year as the head coach of the Jets, and I think he kind of rode the coattails.
Yeah, I get it.
You know, kind of like Les Miles did at LSU.
That's another discussion.
Yeah. So
we'll go back to the Saints a minute. I think they're a 10-11 win team. I mean, I see it. I see up to 11 wins for that team.
I didn't put them as a playoff lock.
No, they're a bubble.
But I mean, they're right.
Wild card bubble.
They're right there. They're right there.
Tampa Bay. I mean, here's the thing about Tampa Bay. They just lost another lineman.
And you know, that's why when I said it wouldn't surprise me if the Saints took this division.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Tom is.
I mean, at some point,
he's
Tom,
got to be protected.
At some point, Tom is not going to be the GOAT.
Well, he'll always be the GOAT, but he won't be.
You know what I mean? It has to happen. I mean, he can't have a repeat of last year every year. I mean, at some point, all the people predicting that he's done are going to be heroes.
Yeah, I actually heard a comment on ESPN today, and they were saying if the Bucs struggle this year, everybody's going to say, I wish Tom would have left 2 years ago and went out on top. You know, after he won the Super Bowl with the Bucs, right off into the sunset as a world champion. But that's not Tom.
That's not Tom, and he proved last year that it wasn't him. It wasn't him.
Right.
So I mean, I think he's obviously still got gas in the tank, and there's something he's doing to stay young. So
if they can overcome all the injuries to the offensive line, there's still talent everywhere.
Yeah, and Godwin comes back healthy.
You added Julio Jones, and who doesn't have to be the man.
No, exactly. Julio's still got gas in the tank as a 3.
Fournette, everybody made a big deal about his weight coming into camp, but I think that was overblown. And
sure.
I still see the Bucs. I mean, it's going to be a battle. You know, just like we said with the North, there's going to be a battle between the Packers and the Vikings. I see the South being a battle between the Bucs and the Saints.
I agree.
And it may be, you know, in both of those conferences, it may come down to head-to-head matchups between those two squads to see who actually takes the division.
Could be.
All right.
Sweet.
You got anything else on the South?
No.
Are you ready to head out west? I said west. Out east.
Out west. Let's go to west.
And this is the episode of the podcast where I show I'm not a homer.
Are we going east or west?
Yeah, we're going east.
East. Okay, we're saving.
Yeah, we're going out there with my Giants. I'm rocking the Saquon Barkley jersey tonight. I'm a diehard Giants fan. Been a Giants fan since I was 6 years old.
Mr. Injury.
When my dad took me to the first game at the Meadowlands.
Yeah.
Win or lose, ride or die. I'm gonna stick.
You're a G-Men fan. Yeah, I can account for that.
Stand by, but I'm also a realist.
Well, you want to dive into yours?
Yeah, we can. I mean, they're probably going to be in the cellar again. We might as well start with them.
Yeah, I don't know about probably in the cellar.
I think it's going to be between them and Washington.
Yeah,
for the cellar. And they may surprise me. I think they did the right thing bringing in Shane and Dabble.
Yeah,
I think you have to give them 2-3 years.
Sure. I think they had a good draft.
I think their draft was excellent. I think they got 2 guys that could have been the number 1 overall pick. So at 5, they got Kayvon Thibodeaux out of Oregon, who a lot of people said was going to be he's kind of like Rashawn Gary. He was the top guy coming out of high school into college. Didn't quite have the college dominating career that everybody thought he would. But the talent's still there. So Thibodeaux at 5, and then Evan Neal, the offensive tackle. Everybody thought that Jacksonville was going to bring him in to be Trevor Lawrence's, left tackle and protect his blind side and all that. So you had 2 guys that they got at 5 and 7 that could have been number 1 overall. So that is tremendous value.
And I think Evan Neal's going to be slated at the right
He's
side.
at right because they got Andrew Thomas.
Who's getting better.
He's
getting better.
Yep.
I mean, he struggled a little early.
A little bit as a rookie, but I
mean,
I like the moves, but
I'm still not sold on your quarterback.
Now,
I mean, I think he's at a crossroads in his career right now.
I think this could be his last season.
I think so too. I mean, unless he does. I mean, last year, what did he have? 10 touchdowns and 7 INTs? I mean, 10 passing touchdowns in a season?
Our starting wide receivers didn't even have we paid all these millions and millions of dollars to Kenny Golladay, and he had 0 touchdown catches.
Yeah.
You cannot have that.
Yeah, I think Kadarius Toney has a chance to.
He's a
to be special.
A cheat code.
Yeah, he has a chance to be special, and maybe that helps Golladay find that.
Well, and then they also brought in another cheat code from Kentucky.
Yeah,
Wandale
Robinson. Yeah, he's so tiny though. Golly,
Tony ain't real big either.
Yeah, but he's built.
So that
he's Florida built. You know, Wandale Robinson.
They've got some pieces, but there's still a quarterback, maybe 1 or 2 more offensive linemen. I think the defense is going to be much improved this year. You know, they brought in Wink Martindale. Formerly of the Ravens, and he likes to blitz. He's got a real aggressive defense.
I don't think you're going to get a lot out of Thibodeaux this year. I believe he's undersized for the NFL. I mean, I think he reminds me a lot of Brian Burns for the Panthers.
Yeah,
when Brian Burns was drafted, he was long, had ability, but he was little. He got pushed around in the run game.
Right.
He had to bulk up a little bit.
But I think Wink is going to put him
in
positions and scheme him. And then you got Ojulari, who was a top pick last year.
He struggled
on the other side.
He did.
I think with the combination of them two, our cornerbacks are still weak. You know, I like Xavier McKinney at safety.
You brought in Adoree Jackson, didn't you?
Yeah, Adoree Jackson, but they let Bradbury go.
Yeah,
because of money.
Right.
And that's the thing, though.
They let him go to an
in conference
rival
over to the Eagles,
to the best team in the conference.
But the Giants aren't playing for this year.
I know.
And then next year they're going to have all kinds of cap space, probably high draft picks. So, like I said, I think if everybody would be patient with Shane and Dable, I think in 2 or 3 years they can own the East.
I got them as a 6 or 7 win team in the East.
Yeah,
looking at their schedule, I can see that if Saquon stays healthy.
I think Saquon's going to be back to the 2018, 2019 Saquon. He's looking good in camp. But there again, I mean, are you better off trading him and getting more capital? Because by the time we're competitive,
right,
Saquon's going to be in the twilight of his career.
Yeah, and you can.
I mean, as a huge Saquon fan, I don't want to see it.
Sure,
I want to watch him every week.
Well,
wearing the giant blue, but
right, and he's at that point in his career. Of course, he's been often injured, but he's going to get paid. So I agree. It's sort of a cap move, probably, to get rid of him, to free it, and you can plug and play with a free agent or a draft.
I mean, it's been proven that running backs aren't quite as valuable as they used to be.
Yeah. All right.
Let's move up. We talked about the Giants and the Commanders kind of being the two teams
at the
battling
bottom.
for the bottom. Let's go to Washington. I think for them, it's defense and running game is what they're built on. And I actually believe that Brian Robinson is.
He's having a good preseason.
He's trying to steal that starting job away.
Sure, we've talked about it in fantasy, and Gibson has a tough time holding on to the ball. So, and he's already fumbled in preseason. So, I mean, he's basically opening the door. But it's gonna. They brought in Carson Wentz. The question is can Wentz be good? They have a good O-line.
I'm not a believer in Carson Wentz. I mean, he went to.
Doesn't look like many are a believer in him anymore either.
He went to a good Indianapolis team.
I mean, it couldn't have been a better situation
and they didn't even make the playoffs.
I know.
I mean, they finished 9-7 with the best offensive line, the best running
O-line,
back.
Yep. just a solid
defense.
team all the way around.
And
he's struggling. I don't know if it's a mental issue for Carson Wentz, and I think this is a good opportunity for him because he's going into a good, solid O-line. He's got decent running backs. He's got a good receiving core.
But he's going into a worse situation than he had in Indianapolis.
I know. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I don't think he's good. I personally think this is a 6-win team.
The only thing I like about Washington is they got a lot of former Bama players.
Well, their defensive line is amazing. And that's with Chase Young not even being up to what his billing was. Imagine if he finds form, how good their D-line is going to be.
The NFC East over the last so many years has got the nickname the NFC Least.
Right.
And they've deserved it. It's just has not been an impressive division. And about all you have to do is go 9-8, and you can win this division.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, a winning record wins this division for the most part.
So that leaves the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Let's go to Dallas.
Go to Dallas.
I'll tell you now, I think the Eagles are the team to beat in the East.
I do.
Let's go to Dallas. Let's talk Cowboys.
I think so.
They went 12-5 last year.
Well, Dallas, the strength of them over the last 5-6 years was their O-line.
Always seems
their O-line is not what it was. They've got a rebuilt O-line now. Connor Williams is gone. Leo Collins is gone.
Yeah.
You bring in the rookie from Tulsa, Tyler Smith. You promote Terrence Steele.
But he's
from a backup to a starter.
He's developed really nice, though.
He has. But still, he was a backup for many years for a reason. So is that old? Ezekiel Elliott is a year older. Another year of wear and tear on his body. He's been on that decline.
Man, his contract has got a death grip on this team too. And Jerry Jones loves Zeke.
Right. But
he wants everything to go through Zeke, and Zeke isn't even the best running back on the Dallas Cowboys.
No, I agree with you. He hasn't been the last 2 years.
Right.
Previous to that, he was a stud.
I know he was good. He had a couple good years, but he's not the best. And the fact that Jerry Jones, we could do a whole show on Jerry Jones, but the fact that he demands that the offense runs through Zeke is ridiculous.
Well, and just speaking to Jerry Jones, him being so over involved is what's holding back the Cowboys.
Yeah, Dak Prescott, he's having a good camp. Dak is Dak. He is a good, solid quarterback, but to me, he just seems like a product of his surroundings. I don't know that he's one of those kind of quarterbacks that elevates a team. So to me, he kind of reminds me of Baker. He's good enough to get you there, but not good enough to get you over that hump to the big trophy. I just don't think he's that good.
Right. I would probably rank him a little above Baker.
Well, I'm not saying he's. What I'm saying.
But I will say this about the Cowboys. They do have who I probably consider the second best defender in the NFC behind Aaron Donald.
That's big. He's good. He's
Michael
good.
Parsons.
You can move him all over the place.
Yeah,
what position does he play?
Defense.
Whatever they want him to.
He plays defense.
Is he a linebacker or is he a defensive end? I don't know.
He's both.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
no doubt. 23.4 pass rush win rate. That's incredibly. That's high.
That's almost 1 out of 4 rushes. That's
Yeah, he rates way up there.
The Giants had a chance to draft him, and I really wanted them to take him. But he had some red flags coming out of college.
He's disproven those for sure.
He's a beast.
The D-line is horrible, though. If you don't put him up there,
yeah.
That's why he's up there. If you don't put Micah Parsons on the line rushing, the D-line is garbage. It's horrible.
I think the Cowboys' window, is probably already closed. I think they missed that window.
And how much of last year's Cowboys defense was the stats were that good because of Trayvon Diggs' 11 INTs.
Right.
There's no way he can repeat that.
No.
They're going to attack him differently. And Diggs has got to change his game a little bit. I mean, he's a big gambler.
It's boom or bust with Trayvon, and that's that can cost you.
Yeah, I think repeating that is tough for him. To me, I have the Cowboys as a Super Bowl or bust team. I mean, that's how they're built. Super Bowl or bust. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I agree.
I still like them to put up.
I mean, they're a playoff bubble team for me.
Yeah, I still like them
to
put up 10
to me to me the East is only one team out of the East is making the playoffs. Whoever wins the division.
Do you know this though? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Vegas has them at 10.5 game, and they got Philly at 9.5.
Okay, I can see those. I can see that.
Well, I can see that. I think this is another lock. I like Philly over the 9.5.
I mean, I would if I'm going to lay my money on it, then I would probably take Philly over and Dallas under.
Yeah,
but I mean, I
could still see Dallas winning double digits.
Yeah, I mean, Dallas was a 12-team win
and being eliminated first game of the playoffs.
Yeah,
I like Philadelphia to win this division. I do. I mean,
by default.
I just think they're that good. I mean, I think Jalen Hurts has proven that he can get better.
He's got to take that next step with his accuracy.
Sure.
If he's got to be able to make quicker decisions. He's a little slow on his reads.
He's always been a little slow on reads, even at Alabama for sure.
A little slow on his reads.
Pre-snap
and the accuracy can be a little off. If he can improve those two things, then yeah, the Eagles can run away with this division.
If he can get to a 70 or 70 to an 80 quarterback rating, I think the Eagles can go deep.
I like the addition of A.J. Brown. I think that's going to help improve that rating.
And it's going to definitely improve, and it's going to absolutely help Slim.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's going to help Slim.
Yeah.
I mean,
take a little pressure off of
Devontae.
Yep. Running back Miles Sanders.
I mean,
he's hurt again.
Yeah, I said that I got basically their running back. Their backfield is just so average.
Yeah.
I mean,
their best running back is Jalen.
That's why That's why Jalen's doing so well.
Jalen's their best running back.
I would like to see the Eagles do better and get a better running back and give him more options, because I think he could improve on the passing portion of his game if he had more of a running threat, But that's the one thing that definitely has to improve. I mean, their defensive line, I think, is their cornerstone. And they got better with Jordan Davis. Mm-hmm. And they picked up free agent Hassan Reddick from the Panthers, a pass rush specialist. And they have Brandon Graham from Michigan.
I was going to say, where did he go to school?
From Michigan. He's a guaranteed 10 sacks a year. I mean, even at 34 years old, that's another Vegas lock. Brandon Graham.
We're going to have to review this video
Brandon
in
Graham's
a year.
Guaranteed 10 sacks a year.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still double digit. 8 or 9, I can live with.
And I think one of the most undervalued picks of the draft this year, I'm going to give Georgia some love, Nakobe Dean.
Yeah.
They picked him up.
Yeah, they got him at the point they drafted him, it was a steal.
I mean, I'm gonna put this out there. I think Nakobe Dean's gonna be the defensive rookie of the year. He's gonna be that good. I mean, he graded so high on his. I don't even know what scale they use. The intelligence. I mean, he is ultra smart. He's undersized. He's been doubted his whole career, and he led that Georgia defense with all them superstars.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah,
I like him a lot.
Undersized in college is different than undersized in the NFL.
Yeah, but look at how many undersized players
especially
in the NFL
inside linebacker
have done well, though.
But
Sam Mills.
Yeah, but Sam was still stout. He was short, but he wasn't.
Yeah, he was I know, but
Nakobe is
like
little.
Nakobe,
there's safeties in the league bigger than Nakobe Dean.
I got you.
But I mean,
I got
don't
you.
Get me wrong.
Get him some big shoulder pads, man. Get him some big shoulder pads.
This ain't the 80s.
Make him look big. And I like their secondary, James Bradbury.
Who?
They brought in Bradbury, your boy. Yeah, your boy gave up. Your guys gave up on him again.
Too much money.
Too much money, but he's a solid. I don't want to call him lockdown.
Well, he is a lockdown in the right scheme.
That's right, and I think the Eagles played a scheme that the same scheme. So
Right.
I think he's going to be.
Yeah,
good.
no, I think it was a good addition.
Yeah.
All right, let's head out west. Let's.
I like the Eagles, man.
I think we're running a little long. I think we need to move out west. And the West, I think, is actually the only the only division that's got 3 teams that are going to be competing. You can go ahead and just toss the Seahawks out right now.
Let's just breeze through the Seahawks.
Here's what I said about the Seahawks. They're obviously trying to win.
Win
the first pick of the draft next year.
They're definitely. They got good pieces in the draft last year for what they needed. But
Right.
they're. I mean, the offseason move.
You're going in with Geno Smith versus Drew Lock at quarterback.
Yeah.
You're playing for the first overall pick.
They are.
And that's about all I got to say about them.
Now, I mean, their defense is not good. They gave up Bobby Wagner in free agency, and their linebacker. Their secondary is really bad.
I mean, they've got 2 good running backs in Penny and Walker. Penny,
Right.
can he stay healthy?
And 2 good receivers.
Yeah. I feel bad for Metcalf.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be a painful season for him.
Yeah.
And is Lockett still there?
Yeah. Okay. And Tyler Lockett's like one of the. He's a really
I've
good
al-
wideout.
Yeah,
really good wideout.
So yeah, but
I think we both agree.
Their first pick overall or bust.
I agree.
We had some in Super Bowl or bust. We want the first overall pick or bust.
Let's go to Arizona.
Okay.
I think Arizona is another. There's always a few teams. It seems like every year that they just don't seem to get any better in the offseason.
Yeah, they're like right there. They can't get over that hump.
Arizona's that team for me in the NFC, and like Dallas too. Just didn't get any better.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, and I think Cliff Kingsbury's air raid type offense, I think the defenses are starting to catch up with him. And he's not adjusting. Can he adjust?
Yeah, you can't be a gimmick in the NFL.
I like Kyler Murray.
You can be a gimmick for one season in the NFL, but then the D coordinators are too smart. They figure it out.
Yeah, they find a way. And, I mean, they got, D-Hop is going to be on suspension.
I think the Kyler contract could come back to haunt them.
Yeah.
I think they overpaid him.
They overpaid him big time.
Marquis Brown, I don't really see him as a...
I mean, he's good. He's
good, but I don't
take the top off.
But I don't see him as
Rondale Moore might have a good year because of Hollywood taking the top off.
I mean, do you see Hollywood as a Michael Thomas?
No. And they gave up Chandler Jones on their defensive line. J.J. Watt is ancient.
Right.
Can he be healthy?
And he can't play a full season.
Xavier Collins and Isaiah Simmons and their linebackers, they've been they just haven't lived up.
I loved Simmons at Clemson.
I know.
I thought he was just, a beast, but to me, he went from a beast to a bust.
Yeah, I think this year defines his bust for me. I see the Cardinals as an 8-9 win team, maybe.
Yep.
9 wins the ceiling for me.
It's a tough division, though.
It's a tough division. I mean,
you got the 49ers.
You can pick between those two who you want to talk about next.
We'll go Niners. It's time for the Trey Lance era.
Yep.
I came down a little hard on them in the fantasy football preview, but
rightfully so. This is a different topic.
Yeah. But from what I'm seeing of him in the preseason so far,
he's a Hall of Famer already.
There you go again with that preseason.
He's a Hall of Famer. If you listen, this is all that matters for me with the Niners. Kyle Shanahan.
Oh yeah.
That's all that matters to me because I think Trey Lance is going to be special.
And plug and play running backs.
Debo and Ayuk, wideouts.
Yep.
I mean, their O-line has got to be one of the best in the NFL. What's his name? Smith was rated 99 on Madden this year. Have you ever heard of an offensive lineman being rated a 99 on a video game? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Defense is awesome. I mean, they got a awesome defensive line. Bosa, we don't need to talk about him. But if Kinlaw gets better, I think that makes Bosa better. The linebacker crew is probably the best in the NFL with Fred Warner.
Right.
Secondary was kind of weak, but they're kind of covered up because their linebackers are so good in coverage. Mm-hmm. But I think the secondary is going to be awesome too. I mean, I think they can be good. I mean, I think this is a Super Bowl or bust team as well. Yeah, even with a rookie, I'm going to call him a rookie. Yeah. I know he's not.
Right.
But I think it's a Super Bowl buster team. I mean, they lost in the championship last year.
Yeah,
I might shock you with my pick later tonight.
Well, and they've been in the Super Bowl recently.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, like I said, Kyle Shanahan's all you need to say from me. Let's talk about the Rams. Oh, and what are the Niners? The Niners are 11.5 by Vegas.
That's
high, man.
That'd be a tough one to bet any money on.
That's high. The Rams are a 10.5.
They got the Vegas. Niners higher than the Rams.
The Niners higher than the Rams.
Wow, the defending Super Bowl champs. Now they did lose Von Miller, Odell, Robert Woods,
Whitworth off the line.
Yeah, Whitworth retired.
Yeah.
And about all they brought in was Allen Robinson.
I like that.
Who A-Rob has never had a legit quarterback.
No.
This is going to be his first legit quarter. And he's not even going to have to be number one because you got Coop.
Right.
So he's going to be the number 2 with a legit quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I like the weapons. I mean, I love, I've always loved Matthew Stafford. I've been singing his praises forever, even as a Lion. I am worried a little bit about his elbow. Mm-hmm. And his, with his elbow and his age, for sure. I think that could potentially come back to haunt the Rams. I mean, even last year, the Rams, what were they, 12-5 last year? So, I mean, I can actually see them taking a little step back in wins.
Well, but you still have that coaching staff.
Sure. I mean, yeah, I agree.
Been there, done that. McVay is proven.
McVay is amazing. And, of course, Aaron Donald in the middle. Aaron Donald and Bobby Wagner in their middle linebacker.
When we did our GOAT episode, I mentioned LT as the GOAT defender, but Aaron Donald is he's knocking on that door.
Clearly going to be in that discussion. I think their secondary is a potential Achilles for them. I know they have Jalen.
They got Jalen. I know, he'll lock down one side.
That's about it, though.
Yeah.
About it.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, like I said earlier when we started this episode, I was the NFC. Nobody really just said, "Hey, I'm gonna go out there and win a Super Bowl." In the AFC, you had the Bills.
Oh, the AFC.
There was a few teams that you could easily see winning the Super Bowl. In the NFC,
it's a toss-up. I mean,
is.
And the Rams, Matthew Stafford got hot.
Yeah.
He got hot at the end of the year. Had he not gotten hot at the end of the year, I don't think they win the Super Bowl. So,
well, let's see what we got here.
All right, okay.
So, who you got for your playoff locks?
I have Philadelphia in the East.
Okay.
I got the Vikings winning the North.
Okay.
I have Tampa Bay winning the South.
Okay.
And I have the 49ers winning the West.
Yeah, we're a little different because I said the only locks I said I got the Bucks. I'm with you on the Tampa Bay. Although, like I said earlier, I could see the Saints taking that. But so my locks, I got the Bucks, the Rams, and the Packers. And then
we're definitely different.
Yeah. And then, well, that's the thing about the NFC. There is nobody that just
however you want to twist those stats and look at those free agent signings. And
so I think the teams you have as locks are in my bubble. I got the Vikings in there. I've got the Cardinals in there. I've got the 49ers in there. The Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Saints. Because like I said, in the AFC East, I think whoever wins the division, but I didn't consider the Eagles a lock to win the division, so that's why I didn't have them as a lock in the playoffs.
I could definitely agree with that. I mean, I have Green Bay, the Rams, and Dallas as my wild cards.
Yep.
And I have on the bubble the Saints, and I got the Panthers as a bubble team.
Yeah,
I eliminated Arizona
Yeah, no, I would still take the Cardinals over the Panthers.
No,
so
I'm
really,
going
that's
Panthers.
about the only team that we really
we're.
are.
Who you got in the conference championship?
I went with the Rams over the Bucks only because, when I mentioned earlier about Todd Bowles, and that scares me. His.
Yeah, you got me second guessing my Super Bowl prediction.
You did it to me last week, and now
you,
I'm doing it to you this week.
I got the Buccaneers against the Niners.
But 26 and 41.
I'm going. I know. That's a big stat. What do you have? Did you make a Super Bowl prediction?
I did not.
Do you want to do one tonight, or do you want to save that?
I mean, it would be easy for me.
Let's make a Super Bowl
prediction.
prediction.
For me.
Well, I think we both agree on
because
Super
if
Bowl.
I've got the Bills coming out of the AFC and the Rams coming out of the NFC, it's the Bills.
And I got the Bills against Tampa Bay. I like Tom over Lance, but I really love the Niners this year. I really like the Niners a lot this year, and Tampa Bay could swing either way based on age and injury.
Well, the coaching
and the
offensive line injuries have, because I originally had the Bucks over the Rams, and which is you got the Niners over the Rams, so it's real similar.
Sure.
But then when I looked at the injuries to the O-line and looked at the coaching staff, I actually flipped it today.
Yeah, but
I flipped it today.
Does Bowles
I mean, that's
carry that much of a difference to Tom Brady? This is Brady's team. It ain't Bowles' team.
And I was going to say, Tom Brady's swan song, he's going to win but
the Bills get the monkey off their back. What are they, 0-5? 4 or 5?
I know they lost 4 straight. And I think that's the only 4 they went to.
I think this is the Bills' year. There's going to be a lot of wings eaten
I
this
hope
year.
So.
I'm
pulling for them. I want to see the Bills win.
I do. I think it's the Bills this year.
Because I know my boys ain't going to be in there.
Right.
So if my boys ain't going to be in there.
I don't think my boys are going to be there either, because I like Kirk Cousins,
right.
but he's just not. He's not
I've
good enough.
got y'all in the playoffs, but I don't think y'all are quite there to go to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Like I said, if my Giants aren't going to be there, or the Dolphins with Tua, if they're not going to be there, I want to see the Bills do it.
I agree. That's it.
You know what I think we should do is head over to the bar and rate that shit.
4, 3, 2, are you ready?
Well, here we are at the bar for what is our favorite part of the show.
Time to rate that
Time to rate that shit. We like to give you guys a couple of bourbon choices, and I'll let Colby tell you what we have today.
Yeah, so last week, we did the 2 Ezra Brooks from the Luxco Distillers. These are 2 more that are part of the Luxco family. The Ezra Brooks were distilled at Lux Row, and these are actually at the Limestone Branch Distillery, but it's still owned by the Luxco company. So these are 2 Yellowstones, and if you're wondering, yes, Yellowstone, it is named after the national park. And with each bottle...
I thought it was named after
No, not the TV show. I think that's probably added to the popularity.
Oh, yeah?
Because people are like, hey, I like the show, let me get the bourbon.
That was good timing.
Yeah. But no, it's actually named after the park, and with each bottle sold, they make a donation to the National Parks Conservation. That's a tricky word. Conservation Association. So yes, it is affiliated with the park, and that's what it's named after. It's not the TV show. Sorry, Kevin Costner. This had nothing to do with you.
All right.
So let's jump right in. This is the Yellowstone Select.
This one's available. I see this all the time.
It's easily available. It's a 93 proof. It's actually a blend of a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old bourbon. It's about $50 a bottle, and it's supposed to give you a vanilla and oaky taste. So,
all right,
let's dive right in. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to mention is
there's more.
There is more. This is a spinoff from the Jim Beam family. So this was founded by some of the Beam brothers.
A little light amber.
Yeah, little 5 S's of how to taste your bourbon.
There's a little bit of legs, but
Yeah.
it's not super complex.
That's a little weak on the nose to
Really?
me. I mean, it's sweet. A little sweetness, little oakiness.
I do.
I can taste that mash. You taste that?
Well, I was gonna say I get the vanilla.
Yeah.
I get that vanilla.
I tasted the mash right up front. You know, it's like after you've done this a while, it's almost like you can almost taste the white dog, the mash.
I tell you what, as a fan of sweeter bourbons, I like it. I like that. It's a strong, to me, it's a strong vanilla flavor.
Very vanilla. Very
I
vanilla.
don't-
A little oaky.
I don't really get the oak.
I got the oak in the smell.
Right,
Not so
right.
much
Not
in
the palate.
the second half. I like it. We didn't really talk about
No,
that.
we didn't give our rating. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dutch.
So we're gonna rate things a 1 through 4 scale for us. Number 1's it's not good. It's a brown bag. We basically embarrassed to even drink it. Number 2, we call that a mixer. Number 2, we throw some Coke, some ginger ale, whatever you like to mix in your bourbon. Number 3 is on the rocks. It just needs a little rock, a little dilution maybe if it's a high proof. And last but not least, 4 for us is neat. That's just that's a good, high quality. To me, that's the classic way to drink your bourbon.
And we don't just give out neats. I mean, it's got to just wow us.
Yeah.
So far through all the episodes, we've given 2 neats.
Okay.
So it takes a lot for us to give out. We hold on to that
That's good.
4, that neat. So all
I'm
right,
gonna-
all right, Dut, rate that shit.
That's a 3 for me.
I'm right there with you.
good.
It's
I didn't have high expectations on this one versus.
well, I got to be
This
honest
one.
with you. I've had it before, and I really enjoyed it.
So this
And-
was how much? 50?
yes, that's a $50.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
$50. I didn't know the price. I
Right.
thought it was cheaper than 50,
Yeah.
but
Now, I it's like I said, it's a good vanilla.
Yeah.
If you like vanilla, I'm still getting a little vanilla on the end of my tongue right
what
now.
was the proof?
93.
93.
93 proof.
I like that. I think that ought to be on everyone's shelf.
It's borderline neat for me, but I'm gonna give it a because we don't give out.
I mean, if it's all that's available,
Oh yeah,
I want it neat.
I mean,
I'm gonna drink something neat if I can.
I'm not gonna drink this over Willet or Chicken Cock, which is who we've given neat so far.
Chicken cock was good.
So, and we don't give out halves. So I can't cheat and say this is a 3.5 for me. So for that reason, I'm gonna give it a mixer just like you did. It's a 3.
Rocks.
Oh, you're right.
Rocks. Don't
yep.
down it down.
No,
Don't
not a
down
mixer.
with a mixer.
You're right.
No, I definitely don't think you throw anything in this one, man.
Yeah,
You
no.
can-
I mean,
little bit of
I enjoyed
ice.
it neat.
Me too.
But
It's
yeah,
good.
on the rocks, very good, very good. That's a solid 3.
Add this one to your collection.
Yes. Okay, so now let's move on to this. Actually,
Yeah, that's a select.
this is a hand picked.
Yep.
So each year, Yellowstone gives different ABC boards or whoever the opportunity to come in, sample the barrels, and select a barrel. So there's a little mystery involved with this. I can't tell you exactly what to expect from the notes, the
I
flavor,
got
the
you, I
aroma.
got you.
Because this was Catawba County.
Right. That's
This was the barrel they selected.
where we got it from.
Yeah, so they went in, selected the barrel, and now this is stronger than this one. This is 115 proof.
Okay.
So it's stronger. It's 5 years, so you can see right there. It tells you that it was bottled in 27. I mean, it was barreled in 2017.
Okay.
And then it was bottled in 2022.
Nice.
So it gives you the dates right there, and there's
And
the
it's a
proof,
single
115.
barrel.
It's a
Single
single barrel.
So this
Hand-picked
one
collection.
we paid a pretty penny
Yeah.
for this one.
This is gonna cost you about $70.
Yeah.
But you're also kind of taking a shot in the dark. You don't really.
Yeah, they're fun though. I like the select.
Yeah.
I like the select single barrels.
Yeah,
I
we've
think
done
they
that with the Old Soul,
Yeah,
the
give you
Select, the
complex,
Southern Star.
different taste from
Yeah,
the
yep.
traditional
Yep.
bigger runs that they do.
Exactly. Now I do like that one, but
Yeah,
let's
that
see
one's
what.
good, man. That one's good. About the same color to me.
Maybe just a
shade.
hair darker.
Yeah.
A shade darker, like you said. Good legs. You know, you would expect at 115 proof to it be a little more complex.
I get the same vanilla.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get the same vanilla, and
smells similar.
I get oak. I get vanilla and oak from that one. Definitely got a good nose.
I'm getting more of the oak with this one
Yeah.
than with that one.
Definitely more oaky.
Definitely more Kentucky hug.
More of a hug, more of the burn. It's good. It's good. Off the back end, it was real good, but more oaky to me than that one.
I'm gonna start off on this one because, like I've said in previous episodes and in tonight,
You prefer?
I'm the sweeter. I like the sweeter tasting bourbons. I like that one better.
I think
That one was 3 on the rocks for me. This one, I'm going with a 2. I'm going with a mixer. There again, I wouldn't mix it with anything.
I think a lot of that
But-
is determined by the proof. You know, the proof definitely elevates that feel.
Yeah.
The proof burns kind of through that palate a little bit,
Right.
and gives you more of the burn. You know, the Kentucky hug. So I definitely think you and I definitely are on the the 100, the 95 to 100
Yes.
proof range to our palate. But,
Right.
you know, if your palate is for a stronger proof, then this one is really good. This is a really good.
It's good.
bourbon.
It's spicier though. It's spicier, oakier.
Yeah, it's definitely.
And that's where it lost me. That's just me personally.
Yeah,
now
right.
I know you, I know my brother. My brother would probably love this because he likes that spicy. I like the sweet, the caramels, the vanillas, the chocolates. So that's why that's a 3 for me. And this is a 2 for me. So that's a rocks and that's a mixer for me.
Yeah, this one's going to be a 3 for me.
Okay.
This is a rocks as well. But I do agree with you. I would lean more towards this one because this had more of a sipping,
Yeah.
smooth quality.
Right.
Where this one is more of a traditional, to me, an older school bourbon that you would expect to be a little peppery,
Yeah.
a little spicy, a little bit hot. I like it, but both of them are 3s for me. But this one would clearly be my choice tonight.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well.
This one is a definite add to the collection.
Yeah.
This is an everyday drinker.
Well, you know, when I go out to a bar, I like to look and see what they've got. And I like to see if they've got something I've never tried before.
Right.
And that way I don't have to commit to a whole bottle of $70, $80, $90.
Commit to a whole bottle.
Well,
Over dinner?
but what I'm saying is you put that money into it and you might not like it. Like these Ezra Brooks we bought last week.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So we committed to them.
I love the Yellowstone line. I'm a fan because you and I both have never tasted.
Never tasted this
well,
one.
No,
I've had
you've
that
had
one.
this one. I haven't.
Yeah.
This is my first dive into Yellowstone.
Like I said, I was at a bar and they had that and I tried it and I was impressed.
Yeah.
So I went out and bought a bottle of it.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I've had this bottle in my collection for a while.
Right.
So I've just kind of been, my collection just kind of builds and saves. So
Right.
That's why we broke
But
that.
no, I'm with you. I'm a fan of Yellowstone.
Yep.
And they've got other Yellowstones, that are even more secluded or
Harder to find.
Exactly.
More rare.
rarer. Yeah, that's
That's
a good
the
word.
fun part of being
Right.
a bourbon You know, when I go into the ABC store, they say, "What are you looking for?" I say, "A unicorn."
Yeah.
I'm looking for a unicorn. You know, I'm always looking for something different, something off the wall, and these are the ones that usually pop up are the single barrel
Right.
select.
Select. Yep.
Yeah, so these are definitely worth it.
It's fun. Yeah, it's fun to check them out.
Yep.
So, you know, hey, another good show. We finished up our NFL preview.
Yeah.
AFC last week, NFC this week. Next weekend, college football is kicking off.
Thank goodness.
And I don't know why they're calling it week 0.
I mean, who cares?
I mean,
Who
there's a
cares?
game being played. So, but anyway, college
All we
football
know
is
college
starting
football
next week.
is back. High school football kicked off.
Yep.
We're back into football season. The weather's
You
coming.
can smell it in the air.
Yeah, the weather's changing. The acorns are falling. It is fall on the rise.
So next week we'll come in hot like we'll start it off with an opening toast. Then we'll come in hot. Then we got a couple topics we want to talk about next week. We're going to talk about what's going on in the NBA offseason. And we're going to talk about college rivalries.
That's a
always
good
a good
topic.
topic. What are the best ones and
Where does your rivalry fall?
exactly.
In
So-
our list, because this is our show. So this is our list.
So we'll do that, and then we'll be back over here at the bar, and we'll be rating some shit.
Yep.
And
Hopefully it's not shit.
yeah, I mean, we've done pretty good so far.
I think so.
aside
It's
from
been
that
some good
goat.
choices. Yeah, that goat. I saw the goat the other day in the ABC store. But
Yeah, I hope you just went on right
I
past it.
did. Well, I laughed at it for sure. But follow, like, and share our content, man. We're enjoying this, and it doesn't matter to us whether or not this show takes off or what. But we're getting new followers and likes, and so we appreciate the love that we're seeing so far. We need more, for sure. Please interact with us if you can. We're on all the socials, TikTok, Instagram. We're on YouTube. Watch us on YouTube. It's a little bit different to actually see us and see the Bama jersey wall. It's interesting. And then, of course, you can email us.
Right.
We appreciate you emailing us. And as soon as we build up enough emails, we're going to actually start sharing some emails and take some questions. And you can do that at bourbonbuzzandballinpr@gmail.com.
Correct.
So that's it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got something to toast our?
I do. I still got a little bit of your old fashioned.
I still can't believe how dark that came out of that
It's
barrel.
really good. Get you a barrel and do this. This aged old fashioned is the bomb.
Yep.
It's good.
Cheers.
All right, cheers.